Hello, welcome back for lesson 1.2. In this lesson, we're going to move on from a population and a sample and some definitions like that onto the types of data. So we are going to look at really two basic types of data this semester, and this quantitative will be broken down into two different quantitative. Okay, so the first type of data is called qualitative data. And these are more like, you would tell it's a qualitative variable when it's a question that has a yes or no answer, or it's categorical in some way. Something where you would have to tally. Have to count number in each category. And we have some examples below. So I'm going to go through some examples of qualitative variables down below here in example 1. So when it says down here, what is your favorite soft drink? So I might say water. I don't drink soft drinks. Somebody might say Pepsi. Somebody might say Coke. I'm going to count how many of each of those answers there are. That is considered a qualitative variable. And what month were you born? That's also a qualitative. What is your favorite movie? What is your favorite state to travel to? Both of these are I'm going to give them an L for qualitative. Okay. Would you rather ride in a boat or fly in an airplane? Again, a qualitative. Okay. Which superhero power would you choose? Flight or invisibility? Again, qualitative. Would you rather live near the mountains or the ocean? Again, qualitative. All of these would be considered qualitative. Quantitative data is usually numerical. It doesn't have to be, but it's usually numerical. And then between quantitative discrete and quantitative continuous. Discrete are things that are countable. We'll say objects that are countable. Now you might say minutes are countable, but when I say countable, I mean you cannot have half of these objects. Okay, so for instance, if you were counting houses, you can't have half of a house. So houses, people, animals, cars, things that you cannot have part of. Okay, quantitative continuous is going to be quantitative data, numerical, that are measured. So anything measured. Okay, so time is measured, liquid is measured, length is measured, weight is measured. Okay, those are going to be considered quantitative continuous. So let's look at the ones that were not qualitative down here, and we're going to identify them as quantitative discrete or continuous with either a D or a C. So how many minutes do you listen to music every day? Now, because I said whole minutes, you might say it's discrete, which is fine, but usually we would say time as measured, so it's continuous. How many siblings do you have? you can only have half of a sibling. I'm sorry, you can only have a whole sibling. You cannot have half of a sibling. So that would be discrete. How many pets do you have? Again, you can't have part of a pet, so that is discrete. How many total credits are you enrolled in this semester? Even if you can have a half a credit, if a class is offered in a half, you can't have anything between a 0 credit and a half a credit, or 1 credit and 1.5 credits. So there are particular points in number of credits, particular break points. So that would be just considered discrete. In how many languages can you ask where's the bathroom? So that is going to be discrete. How many miles do you travel to get to school? That's going to be something measured, so that's going to be continuous. Okay, so when we're working throughout the semester, this seems like a simple concept, but we're going to be talking about these two variable types till the last day of the semester, because it, depending on what type of variable you have, determines how we're gathering the data and summarizing the data, okay? So qualitative data, we usually have to tally it, count it, and turn it into some kind of a percentage is usually what we're talking about. So things that you might ask a question and turn it into a percent, that's going to be qualitative. Anything that's numerical is going to fall into this quantitative variable. Touch me back if you have any other questions.